orúkọ mi ni High Chief OLANREWAJU BASHORUN Seriki ìlú Ọ̀tà tó mò ń díje fún Federal House of Representatives ADO-ODO Federal Constituency. Ní independent Nigeria, a kí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Nigeria nílé lóko àti ní ẹ̀yìn odi, particularly àwọn ọmọ ADO-ODO Federal Constituency. A kí wa pé a kú ọdún, a kú ìyèdún, ẹ̀mí á ṣe púpọ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run. Àwa organize program kékeré kan láti fi celebrate independence Nigeria, láti fi kí gbogbo àwọn leaders wa, látòrí governor wa, governor Adédàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún, deputy governor wa, mama wa Noimot Salako Oyedele, senator wa Senator Olamilekan Yayi, àti gbogbo àwọn leaders wa pátápátá la kí wípé a kú ọdún, a kú ìyèdún, ẹ̀mí á ṣọ̀pọ̀ ọdún láyé. Àwa tún fẹ́ àsìkò yìí kí kábíyèsí wa, kábíyèsí ọlọ́tà ọ̀fọ̀tà, kábíyèsí ọba Adéyẹmí Abdulkabir ọba Lanlẹ́gẹ́ Ẹkùn the second. A kí kábíyèsí wa Ọlọ́fin Adó, a kí wọn. A kí kábíyèsí wa Ọlọ́jà Ẹkùn of Ìgbẹ̀sà, a kí kábíyèsí Alágbára. A wá fi gbogbo wọn, a fi kí gbogbo àwọn kábíyèsí ní gbogbo ADO-ODO Federal Constituency pé ẹ kú ọdún, ẹ kú ìyèdún.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ò fẹ́ tolú wọn bá ní ọ̀ṣẹ́. Larrybash. ẹ bá mi kí n lọ yí bá. Larrybash. ìtẹ̀síwájú. Larrybash. ìtẹ̀síwájú.
We are here for a roundtable, and that roundtable is to look at how we can unlock, first of all, break the barriers and unlock opportunities for the ADO-ODO Federal Constituency. Interestingly, we have all been brought here at the instance of a very vibrant, forward-looking, visionary, upwardly mobile gentleman we know as Honorable Larrybash, who is popularly known as Larrybash. A round of applause for him.
Leadership actually should be about empathy, a desire to render service for the public good. That should ordinarily be why a man or woman should aspire to be a leader. But in our climate, leadership has been misdiagnosed and corrupted, so to speak. And so we do not, that is why we are where we are, because a lot of people see leadership as an opportunity for self-aggrandizement. But we have a gentleman here who, from his actions, you can tell that he has the empathy, the good of the people at heart. Deciding on the day of Nigeria's independence to put together a colloquium such as this for us to discuss a way forward shows that he's a visionary and he has the public, he's a public-spirited human being. So for that, as we welcome with a huge round of applause, Honorable SERIKI Larrybash, the man we know as Larrybash. Thank you very much, sir. So we'll be coming back to you, and you'll be telling us, you will give us an opening remark, you'll be telling us why we are all here.
I really appreciate everybody for coming. The weather has not been the best, and still we have massive representation of our constituents, especially our targeted audience, which are the youths, from ADO-ODO, from the students, from the BESA, and from all the youth bodies in Nota. So that represents a very large chunk of the people in ADO-ODO Federal Constituency. So I thank everybody for coming out. May Almighty God protect us. Mr. Moderator, I really appreciate the way you introduced the topic, especially judging from your experience coming from just Ayobo here to Ota. May I tell you that ADO-ODO federal constituency share the same border with Ayabo.
Yeah.
It's just 2-3 steps into ADO-ODO.
Yes.
The journey that is not supposed to be more than, let's say, 10-20 minutes
Yes.
from where we call local junction.
Yes.
That is part of Italy.
Yes. Ayetoro.
Ayetoro and all those areas. I can also tell you that the cabinet of Italy is from here. So to tell you Ota is Italy and we are all one. This is just one federal constituency.
Yeah. Now, going back to the topic, we need to see,
To look inward and try to dissect to breaking barriers and unlocking opportunities. You will put it like breaking the genes. Well, if it's a gene, the Almighty God allow this type of roundtable to be able to provide solutions to break the kind of genes. But let's look at the barriers. Let's see what are the problems of our federal constituency. Some 65 years ago, some of our heroes past come together, look at ourselves, look at what was happening then, and decided that it's time to fight for the independence of this nation. We talk about the amalgamation 1949. Our republic was 1963. And they look at it like it's time for us to come together and get ourselves independent from any kind of colonial rules and all those rules. The like of Chief Obafemi Awolowo, Enahoro, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Amadu Bello, a lot of things. 65 years ago. We just need to look and see if it has been blessing or the other way. Well, let's now look at, let's say, 65 years down the road. What are the problems that we are facing? Because if we can't identify the problem, we might not be able to provide solutions to it. So, I look at the problem, I examine a lot of things. But I feel for the purpose of this gathering, let's just take some 2 or 3 issues so we can try to dissect them. One of the challenges that I've seen, especially looking inward into our own federal constituency, ADO-ODO federal constituency, I can pinpoint like the literacy level in our federal constituency. The second thing I've looked at is the state of our infrastructure and our social and recreation issues. Then our geographical, let's say historical formation. Over the years, these local governments used to become a local government that doesn't really have a lot of educated people. We've been called a lot of things. But if you just look around now, look at all the youths we are seeing here. 99.9 of them have graduated with their first degree. Some of them have their second degrees. Some of them even have their PhDs. So, initially in the time past, that has always been the pain of our problem. Lack of schools, secondary education, primary schools. The access to that education is an issue. Then when we talk about the access, then what is the quality of the education? also is a problem. Then there is another thing I always want to talk about is the focus-based education. You know, we've been fed with a lot of different kind of education that doesn't really have significant impact in the life of our youths. Imagine somebody studying social science, you know, and this is ADO-ODO, where we have a lot of issues related to farming, a lot of things. I believe education should be tailored to the need of the area. So that is one thing that I believe has been our problem. Secondly is the state of our infrastructure. Now, let's look at the roads, look at the hospitals, look at all those type of things. It was just recently that our governor opened an international airport, the cargo airport, now upgraded to a domestic airport in the state. Meaning everything that we have to transport in terms of products and everything that has been produced here, all of the states have to go elsewhere for transportation. So we have a very short fall in terms of infrastructure that we have. Then talk about road infrastructure. We have one of the biggest, or that's the second largest industrial estate in the southwest. A lot of industries, industrial clusters everywhere. But how would they extract their produce to the masses that need them? We have very big problem with the roads. Health facilities is another big problem. Social recreation centers, sport centers that can attract youths to be able to be productive, take our youth off the street, you know, curb all these menace, all this drug abuse and everything. But, you know, we have a very shortfall in all of that. Then, historical formation. Over the years, we have been so unlucky, let me put it that way, that, you know, the amalgamation of states and areas to become states over 40 years ago. I think that was 1976 when Ogun State was created. This part of the state was merged with some other part, and we were initially called Ota District, then Ota local government, then ADO-ODO local government, all sort of merging together. And in as much as we want to look at it, like there could be some advantage in it. But if you look at the size of Ota alone, or ADO-ODO federal constituency as a local government, you will see that this local government is even bigger than 3-4 local governments in some other part of the state. So, and here we are as one federal constituency, one local government. If you look around us, you will see some other local governments, 2-3 local governments making a federal constituency. All these federal constituency and local government are not even bigger than the state, which is just one part of it. One part of this federal constituency. So I think, you know, we have a very big problem in terms of that. So I will like to stop at this so we can discuss them before we can look at the opportunities. All right.
What I heard him say was, during the colonial, he was trying to talk about why we had independence, the level of education of the people who then populate the space that is now referred to as Nigeria is not as much as what we have now, in the generic sense of it. I just needed a clarification if that improvement means that, if it means high level of literacy level in our federal constituency. So is it talking about the improvement in terms of education in Nigeria, or high level of literacy in ADO-ODO federal constituency? If it is the former, I think that's correct. But if his clarification is the latter, I may want to disagree, because we have some not so empirical data, but things that we can see, indicators around us that speaks to the fact that level of education is not so encouraging, particularly in our own vicinity. Of course, we have girl child marriage everywhere around, the area, dropouts. We have a whole lot. And talking about, he did mention about not just literacy, access to it, quality of that education, and particularly focus-based, education. So when you look at this, generally, you find out that, maybe we have lots of classrooms scattered across the federal constituency, but is there access, particularly those who are staying in the rural areas? Do they have access to education? Even those in the urban center, do they have access to the qualitative education? And in fact, the education that we now have, that we celebrate, are the education that are tailored towards development.
Thank you very much for your seeking for clarification, and thank you, Mr. Mika. What I was trying to explain was the level of education post-colonial era has been, we cannot say the kind of education we had then before independence is still the same kind of education we have. We have significantly, because that's one of the reasons why our forefathers fought for that independence in the first place. Before then, you see our people, some of them they don't even know the meaning of education. You understand? But our people, they fought for that everyone. Now let's look at what Obafemi Awolowo did during his regime. Free education for everybody. Those have significantly improved our stride in education. But is it up to the level of what we want? That is where his clarification is still towards. No, I can say no, because of some indices, like you mentioned, girls' child marriages, rural education, quality education, access to this education, and let's look at, even though we have classrooms scattered everywhere, like you will see our people are very quick in building 2-3 classrooms, 1 classroom here, but are these kind of education that we really need our people to go through? I think we will come to the solutions and the opportunities on all of that when we get to the segment that we're talking about, unlocking the opportunities. Thank you very much for that.
I think the issue of governance per se, good governance, depends on leadership. When we say leadership, I will say we have false ones and genuine ones. The false ones are good leaders who are always looking for opportunities. But the genuine ones are the knowledgeable ones, very, very passionate and knowledgeable about their community. The genuineness of love for their community will always be intoxicating them into doing good. I'm happy he has highlighted the barriers, and then I like a very particular area there, the area of social amenities and infrastructure. You see, development of any community per se depends on the infrastructure of that area. However, though, the community itself must be knowledgeable enough to garner the resources together. But if the infrastructure is lacking, it will be a bane to the development. And we'll be having governments, leaders. Why all the time the same problem will be scrutinized? It means majority of them are not up and doing. They are not even knowledgeable enough to know their onions, why they are in the apex or in the seat of leadership. But without minding walls and without fear of favor, I am rest assured that with the time I have known Larrybash, do you know what amazed me most? Before even thinking of going into politics, he has been very, very helpful to the people and the community, particularly and especially for the development of the youth and elders.
We should not look at the success of a leader from the prism or perspective of rice and beans. What the market says. I go market today, cup of rice don't be 2,000. You can't judge a leader by that. These are necessary sacrifices. If you read the history of some nations, it's unfortunate, like he said about illiteracy, a lot of us don't read. And internet, social media was supposed to even help us read more. Unfortunately, we deploy this same social media to wrong use. If you read, you will and study the history of some nations. Go and read the history of Malaysia, Singapore, the Asian Tigers, China. Go and read their history. Their leaders had to do something. After the Second World War, China had to promulgate a decree, legislate on a law that every family, you must not have more than one child. One child. People are giving birth to 10 children here and saying that God will provide. You are just asking for poverty. We are talking of governance. What is our role in this? This is just an example. So, leadership is very important. And on top of that, we should have leaders who can manage resources. In Tinubu's era, this is the best time for all the governors. This is the best time for all the senators. They are taking ×3 of what they used to take home as constituency grants. The state governors are taking ×3 of what they used to take as federal allocation. Now the question is Nigeria not supposed to be better under these governors? But they are stealing the money. They are not doing anything, and their people are blaming Tinubu. Tinubu has done his part. Let the governors, let our people hold their leaders accountable.
ADO-ODO is the largest local government in Ogun State. Have its own constituency. then we are going to have issue, no matter how it is, because there's going to be the clash of superiority. And that's what's happening here in the local government. In all aspects of our political line, no. From the senatorial, rep, local government, these three that really put us together, the two constituencies and every problem, and we want to progress. How do we progress? Everybody, that will lead us to selfishness. I will fight for my own constituency, he will fight for his own constituency, we will fight for our own constituency. And by so doing, we will keep creating problems day by day. Secondly, we are youth here. The issue of equity is not applied in ADO-ODO local government within the two constituencies. If I look into this conference hall now, people that are here, that are from this constituency, are more than those that are from other constituencies. How will you know the problem from that constituency? Today you call us here as youths. You want to hear from us. When you want to get information, you got it from us. When it comes to the time of implementation to exercise this, is it what we give to you that you are working on, or what we get from our traditional leaders? Who doesn't have the pains we go through every day as youth? So what I mean by that angle is that decision taking at ADO-ODO federal constituency mostly are being decided by our traditional leaders, not by the youth. The youth are the ones who go out and fight. I could remember vividly, not long ago, my colleague, President of the Youth Assembly here, mobilized and fight against the man working in the ADO-ODO also, but not getting it wrong. We are the one doing that work, but we are not the one. Our own decision are not being the one taken into consideration when decision is to be made. That means we are having a problem of leadership. Our traditionals are respectable people, are honored people, but our own voice must be heard properly.
Three important questions one needs to ask before there is development in a particular geographical location. And what are those questions? He said, what has been happening to poverty, what has been happening to inequality, and what has been happening to unemployment. But my own main area of clarification right now is inequality. Inequality in the sense that what is the bridge between the rich and the poor in this federal constituency? I made mention of there is increase, there is at least high level of literacy, we have people who are employed, but these things, are they really worthwhile? We say we are giving some individuals, some youth jobs. Are these jobs enough for them to take care of themselves, for them to have a high level of standard of living? The inequalities has to be taken care of. It's actually very, very important, because looking at these inequalities, it revolves around all other ones. Because if we're talking about inequalities, definitely they are trying to tell us that some people are poor while some are rich. Are we giving you, yes, you made mention of literacy as well. This education we are really giving to them, is it worthwhile? Are the education that is actually unlocking the opportunities that we made mention? And another clarification I would like you to make, sir, is my brother also has actually made mention of it earlier on, breaking a barrier of leadership ethics in this federal constituency. Breaking barrier of leadership ethics. I'm still a young boy. For about few decades, or let me say many years, I've been in this constituency. We can't say we don't have a government. Definitely we have a government. I would like to make mention of it. I'm from polling unit 043, Ward 8, Ilobu. But over there, I can actually say confidently that we have not been experiencing any form of government intervention, government doing something in particular that yes, we can actually feel the presence of government activities over there. So there is a kind of ethics there that has to be broken, because we have some administrations who has passed on. In fact, I myself, I can actually say it, that we have House of Assembly members, we have House of Rep members, even people living within the locality, they don't know the House of Rep members. Talk less of saying, okay, we want this, this is what we want, do this for us, do this.
Let's see from the head down to the toe. Now, we are celebrating 65 years of Nigeria. Can we record any success or progress? The answer is yes, except you don't want to be realistic. But another further question is, those progress or successes we want to record, I mean we can record, are they where we're supposed to be? The answer is no. Because we have those who got independent after us that are doing better than us. Now, why are we not having that? Number one in my list is corruption and impunity. I believe if we can address this, it will take care of all other things we want to be talking about. Now, as we have Nigeria as a country, in terms of education, are we at par? If we are to score ourselves over 100 compared to all other countries of our age at 65, are we going to score to 50? And why are we having that is because of corruption. How much do we budget into corruption? What is the percentage of education in our budget? Even the little percentage, do we execute it adequately? No. Majority of money allocated for any project, about 40% of it will be really used. So, meaning corruption. So, now come to our own, which is ADO-ODO, federal constituency. Is the corruption, is it not affecting us? The answer is yes. I'm sure if our leaders can execute what it is meant to be, to be distributed to the masses, I'm sure we won't be writing the same story. They have federal allocation. What are they doing with it? So, if we are having this and there is corruption, we cannot record a reasonable development. So, that is a barrier. Another barrier is disunity. There is no unity of purpose. The same thing is coming from up to toe. Yoruba wants to fight for their own interest, Igbo wants to fight for, and don't let me deceive you. If you see most of them that come out that we are fighting for Yoruba, it's not really for Yoruba. They always want to fight for Yoruba. When Yoruba cause, it's going to favor them personally. So the same thing is coming to our constituency. We are not uniting for a purpose. So how do we come to beat that? If you can come together as body, if we have unity amongst us, then we can fight our cause. For instance, how many federal appointments do we have in Ogun State? How many do we get from this part of the state? We are having 3 senatorial districts in Ogun State: Ogun Central, Ogun East, and Ogun West. What can we write for Ogun West in terms of appointments sharing? So, all this needs to be looked into for us to be able to forge ahead. Even also, we continue to celebrate problem every day, every year, every week, every month, every year. So, I've identified about 2 things. corruption and impunity, then unity as a barrier.
Back to what my principal said concerning social recreation and involvement. Yeah, I remember when I went for my MBA at COMMEMORATION. When I got there, I decided to go for an excursion for a two-day, because we were given 2-day break. So I went to Ife. I'm a kind of person, I'm very inquisitive. I want to know more. I like to dig more. So when I went there, I went to the palace straight. I didn't know anybody from the palace. So that's what I want to say to the youth. Don't be intimidated and don't limit yourself. Because the way we limit ourselves has really made the leaders not to appreciate the kind of person we are. We might be human, but we are more than what people think we are. And we have a lot to give back if we are given the opportunities. So I went to Ife. I just went inside. They were like, "Who are you? What do you want?" I said, "This is my name. I'm here. I want to see the king." And they were like, "Is it just like that?" I said, "Yes, I want to see the king." They said, "Why?" I said, "Because I've heard a lot about Ife. They are very powerful and the king is very powerful. So I would like to meet him and know more about this place." And somebody now said, "Well, for a young girl like this to be very inquisitive, I want to know more. Where are you from?" I said, "I'm from Ota." I said, "What? Ota?" I said, "Yes, you came all the way from Ota." I said, "No, actually I came to Ogun and I just decided to come to Ife to see a brother. But that 2 days will not be just, I will not just leave it away like that. I have to achieve something." So when I got there, they showed me, they said, "Okay, no problem." They accepted me and showed me around. All their museum and everything. I learned a lot that day. So I was like, okay, if I can come to another person's land and learn about what they do, why don't I go to my own land and learn what they do? I tell this to most of my brothers here, because that was what really pushed me to want to be involved in what is going on in Ota. When I came back, I started to research, for a museum and everything. I didn't see anything, which is very bad. I remember my mom used to tell me then that she used to go to stadium when they were young to enjoy themselves, see the footballs, they family, the leaders rolling around with the youth. I was like, okay, let me come back. I came back, I looked for the museum, I looked for everything. I didn't see anything like that in Ota, which is very bad. So that is a problem anyway, because our social life, I think, is poor. We don't have any good social involvement in our constituency at all. The lack of love too is a problem, is a barrier. My president, the AWORI Youth Association president, Adeleye, there was a meeting, SCN meeting I attended, and he told me that when they asked for questions, and he said, okay, this is a problem, that in his own relative, in his own space, that people used to say, they are not good. We are our problem. Because if we are saying that to our children, how do we come outside to relate with people? That's why you see some Ota people, a lot of Ota people that are not even associating themselves with the Otas because they believe they are bad people, and it became a problem. My mom told me, my dad is Ota. I'm not looking what. My dad is a good person. If you mention Akera today, everyone knows him as a good person. Fine, every human, we are not perfect. We have our own shortcomings. He has his own shortcomings, but he's a good father. He gave me everything and brought me to where I am today, and I'm very grateful for that. So if I have limited myself in not associating and not creating love and not understanding people in Ota, how will I be here? Do you understand? So another one is lack of maturity. We are not matured, I would say. In Ota, we are not. I don't see any maturity here. In terms of when anything happens, we are quick to judge. This is a barrier. I don't know if anybody listens with what I'm saying. It's a big barrier. I'm a kind of person, I don't care what people. I'm in politics. I sit with the big men in politics today. I'm young, but because of the way I associate myself with them, I talk, I mingle with them. A lot of elderly people call me and tell me their problems. I share mine with them. We talk, we rub minds because of the way they've seen me to be. Then for women are being limited. When I got to a point I wanted to give up on politics because of the pressure of I want to, you marry me, you date me. Somebody even told me to my face that láti fẹ́yàn tó bá fẹ́yàn lákan ò lè débi kankan gbogbo eléyìí tó ń ṣe yìí ọmọ Jésù kò lè help ẹ o. I told my leader, he said don't mind them, it's a problem. I think a lot of women has allowed that kind of thing to happen. That is why they are giving us problem. They are still thinking, do you understand, that I'm that kind of person. And so I disagree. When you come, I'll listen to you, I won't insult you, I won't look down on you. But I'll let you know you are like a father to me. It's your knowledge I need to grow. Then high level of corruption, as my brother has said, is a problem. I work at a Wupe. That road, I don't know if anybody knows Singa Wupe road. That road is so bad. The company I work for, every year, they try to give money to fix that road. But they'll give it to the chiefs, and before you know, you will not see anything. Nothing will be done. They will just come, pour sand on the road. So corruption starts from in within. It's not from the leaders. So we have to love ourselves, be mature about whatever we do, try to stop corruption.
Our health sector is lacking behind. I've gone to Ijebu Northeast. Ijebu Northeast is, let me say, it is the smallest local government in Ogun State. I saw their health center because I'm a midwife in Embryo and a medical lab technician. But on getting there, I saw many things in their health centers, and I said to myself, ADO-ODO that is bigger than this place do not have half of what they have there. We are to be one of the local governments they look up to at the state level, but yet we are lagging behind. And all these things is not from our leaders, it's from us, insiders, because we take things with levity hands. Because most things, a single person can say, I want to do this, and the person will do it. But because we know our people will criticize us, if I say I want to do this thing, they'll say, why not do it for yourself? But if we look at it, we have leaders that can assist, that can push the youth to do better. And I believe you, as our leader, you would help us and you build the youth to be better than before. Thank you.
According to Plato, he said, and I quote, the penalty for not participating in the political affair of your community is that you end up being governed by your inferior. Now, I see it as a barrier, political education, or let me say lack of political education. It's not that we don't have education. We have education, but we don't have political education. Because when you go out there telling people to come and participate in politics, they will tell you that politics is a dirty game. That means they don't have political education. Now, it's also a barrier because if you don't have political education, it will be difficult for you to choose the right leader. And we say that part of the barrier is bad governance. How you that you don't possess political education, how do you want to choose the right leader? Enlightenment. Let's enlighten our people. Let them know the importance of engaging in politics, not just the education alone. That is the total barrier that I see, the major problem that I see. So Larrybash, as a leader, he is tested and trusted to me. He's tested and trusted because being a social scientist, we've actually. He did not know me from anywhere. We met normal this thing. And there's a time I was here, the AWORI students want to organize a program. And Larrybash was like, give me the sum of everything, what's going to cost you to do. And he said, this is the cost. With immediate effects. He did not spend up to 24 hours to call it. So he's tested and trusted to me. So that is just it. So political education, enlightenment from our leaders, enlighten our people. Thank you.
I
want us to look into the barrier of insecurity in ADO-ODO local government, and also the barrier of perceived injustice in ADO-ODO. When we are talking of the barrier of insecurity, ADO-ODO, our security in ADO-ODO, are they guaranteed enough for us to say, okay, let me go and sleep, we have security outside? Are we in trust with them? So, thank you very much, sir.
So now we'll hand the microphone to Larrybash as he addresses some of the issues that were raised by our respondents. Thank you.
I really appreciate every contributor. Well, let me start by, in a situation where a lot of injustice, a lot of abnormalities have been taking place, have been seen, have been felt, a lot of bad things have happened. It's understandable for people to be aggrieved, to be upset. You understand? And I'm not going to try to take it away from anybody if anyone is upset with the kind of system that we found ourselves in at the moment. Let me start from what our leader LMD talked about. To just summarize what he said there are two types of leaders: genuine leaders and false leaders. You understand? If he went forward, I don't want to use the word because he said gold diggers. It's very easy to identify real leaders if we really want to do that. You know how? There was a time we were going around talking to people about our ambition, and we pick up a slang. Ashele, Oshu, Oshole, Lo. You understand? So somebody said it, when we were talking to them. And you know what the person was trying to explain to us? He said, we've seen the kind of person you guys are. We've seen the kind of man you are. We've seen what you've been doing, even without even having any kind of political ambition. And you've done enough ashele for people to know the kind of person you are. So it's very easy. It's easy, and I will get to that when we are talking about opportunities and when we are concluding this segment. Now let me speak about what Irene Kashe has said. I could see a lot of anger in his voice, a lot of anger he has been dealt with because of the situation of our federal constituency. Irene Kashe, remember I said something about historical formation. I don't think you did it. Okay. And I want you to note that I did not say this, my few mentions, the only problem of our federal constituency. I said let's just talk about few because of the limited of time. You understand? If I'm going to start listing our problems, my brother, if you have a truck, you cannot take them away. You understand? I just say let's limit it to this, so we can talk about how we can or what we have in mind. You understand? Now, you talk about balance of the two constituencies. I'm sure if you look at the composition of the people we invited here, you are from ADO-ODO. We invite you. You understand? We did not look at it like you are not from constituency 1. We invited people from Igbesa. We invite people from Ere. We invited everybody to show you that we are coming with a different view and purpose. You understand? Please take note of that. Number 2, you talk about the youth, that whenever politicians are coming on board, they always engage the youth, and whenever they are there, wherever they want to go, they will involve the traditional rulers. See, I want to tell you, in the Quran they talk about one king, Dhul-Qarnain, the king of the front and the back. I want to assure you that I have participated on both fronts. You understand? I've been the SERIKI of Ota, and being the SERIKI of Ota is not an honorary title. You can tell I'm the chief of staff to the kingdom. have participated in nearly every decision making this kingdom is making. Up to when we were to install the KBC Olofin-Obado, I was the one that represented Olota at the inauguration of KBC Olofin-Shere. So when we are talking about somebody that have seen both sides, from the traditional side and from the youth side, the first thing I did when I became the SERIKI was to convene the first youth summit. You understand? To show you that I'm not oblivious to the role of the youth. And also, put it here, I've never been into any political office, public office. I'm coming to introduce the new things that political space is lacking. You understand? A proper representation. I want you to know that the leadership, and I will challenge you that by the grace of God, when we get there, we shall look at all these things together. I am totally open and very mindful of the problem of this federal constituency. I've seen the marginalization. It's just like what we are talking about. Look, if we want to be fair, we are talking Ogun West for government, right? Since the creation of, that is one of the things I mentioned. Since the creation of Ogun State, Ogun West we've never produced the governor. Now, we're talking about Ogun West for governor. There is a part that has never tasted the senatorial seats before. You understand? The what is it called? The House of Reps seat has been in one area, one constituency for over 16 years, going to 20 years. The local government of the council has been somewhere. You understand? All this marginalization, we have to be fair to ourselves. You understand? If we want to be fair, see, if we want to come to equity, must do what? Must come with plain hands. So, Irenikashe, I need you to understand that we, and if you look at the team, you will see that it's uniquely picked to represent the youth, to inject fairness, youth, and progress into what has been happening in ADO-ODO. See, let me tell you something. He told us the story of rat and cat. Let me tell you something. No matter how you want to dress a cat, is a cat. No matter how you want to disguise a rat, is a rat. If you see somebody that comes and lie and lie and lie and lie and will do this, you already know that this person is a thief. You just want to disguise it. See, let people bring their antecedents. What have you done without politics? What kind of person are you before seeking political office? See, you are here now, you are not a politician, you haven't done all this, whatever. And we see your passion. Look, somebody like LMD. Look at the young lady. Look at what she said. Do you think the people representing us, have you ever seen any of them taking the youth, listening to them, promising them, or doing things for the youth without political office? I challenge you to bring two of those kind of people out. That they are not in politics, they are not spending federal government money, and they are doing things for the youth. You can ask. Outside, don't take 500 naira Okada and ask the kind of person SERIKI is. You understand? Whatever you get should form your opinion. Thank you. Irioluwa. Irioluwa. Thank you. I thought it was Irioluwa. It talk about inequalities. Well, I will go back to what I've said. See, the moment we don't put the right people at the right place, at the right time, we will continue to suffer all this kind of abnormalities, all these kind of equalities that we are suffering. We talk about poverty. Do you think some people care? Do you think some people care about, them having billion naira in their account and the next person sitting to them is having 1 cent or 1 kobo? They don't care. We've heard of history of people that they've given palliatives and they are selling it.
And we've seen people that did not collect a dime palliative, use their own personal money to buy things and was sharing it for the people. So who is fair among them? And don't be surprised, it's those kind of people that people have seen that they are thieves. They will still go and vote for them during the election because they want to collect 1 naira, 1,000, 10,000 just to vote. You collect 10,000 naira today, you've sold your life for the next 4 years. You understand? See, let me tell you something. Your antecedent, a leopard will never shed his spot. If you see somebody that is a bad person, is a bad person, no matter how they want to disguise. So, our problem is still down to what all of us are saying, which we will address when we're talking about unlocking the opportunity. Bad leadership. Corruption, as Ojubile rightly said. You understand? If we don't have people that have the interest of the people. You understand? If you don't have them in position. Look, the moderator talk about AWORI. Let me give you a small history. I used to be in Lagos, you know, as Lagos, maybe Lagos boy. And do you know the present Alausa ShopRite? Yes. The one beside the ministry, the Alausa? Yes. Was during AWORI's period. And AWORI decided that they want to turn the place into something else. Nobody knows what they want to turn it. But the place was normally the place where ministry staff dropped their kids as nursery, and the place was massively underused. You understand? Underused. Sometimes you get there, you see only 7, 8 kids, and the place was massive. But when AWORI said, "Oh, I'm going to turn this place into something," was a lot of uproar everywhere. They want to take our nursery school. They want to take where we put our students. We want to carry placard. This. Now look at what has happened today. The place has employed more than 5,000 people. Youths making ends meet from that place. You understand? Look at what that place is contributing socially, economically to the impulse of Lagos State. So which one is better? You see, we need to learn how to put the right people at the right place. See, the antecedent of people is what we need to look at. See, if we don't do it, we will continue to suffer for it. You get what I'm saying? If we continue to ignore the fact that, because see, there is no way that you can hide your behavior. Yes. You understand? People will know. It doesn't take a long time for people to decode you, like we say, I think decode, as you get there. Once people decode you, they should let you go. That's the problem. Now, we have people, listen, they don't even know our problem at all. And we put them in positions. And they are still running around. They want to contest again. And it's people like us that will still continue to support them. What have you done for this federal constituency for the past 2 years? We have people that have been caretaker chairman. After being caretaker chairman, they become commissioner 2 times. After being commissioner for 2 times, is now the member of House of Representatives. Let him come out and tell us what he has done. And we that we've never been in government, I will challenge him with what I've done without any government money. You understand? We should put all those kind of things on scale. But people won't listen. But we already know that come 2027, we will be there and let people judge us. President Jubilee, you talk about corruption and disunity among us. And you know, well, see, when the head is rotting, the whole body does what? It's gone. People say, listen,
all this problem starts from bad leadership. You understand? When it's going to be like survival of the fittest. You understand? When we have a bad leader up there, because the little crumbs that fall, we will all fight for it, no need. You understand? Everybody will be like, me to myself, because I don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. But what about if the leader cares about everybody? You understand? Then we have some kind of fair community. So I'm sure by the grace of God, all those will address itself by the time we have. Look at what the moderator said about. I will continue to use Ashwaju as an example. Look at what he said about Ashwaju. You know, when he came in, a lot of, well, look at what is happening now. I will go to that. I will get to all those at the appropriate time when we are talking about what I really want to talk about, leadership. We will get to all that. Akera Omolara, she talked about social recreation, lack of love, lack of maturity, women involvement, and stigmatization. Yes. You know, it's also a very big problem. See, when you see, I'm sorry to say this, no disrespect to everybody, but when you see someone in a position of power that abuses his or her office to a stage that every Tom, Dick and Harry in the community knows him like an ashewo, you understand? Then you know you have a problem. You understand? You know you have a problem. A leader that people are accusing of sleeping with their wives. Kids are running away like he's going to try to take advantage of them. So what do you expect? All we have to do is to vote all those kind of people out of power and let new blood, new people, let us try them. Okay? Oluwapumi Oyetoro, getting involved, not taking things with levity. Thank you very much. That is all we should do. We should all get involved. We should all get involved. There is no way we can arrest the bad situation than getting involved, like what Comrade here says. If you refuse to get involved with politics, that means you are living your life to be ruled by people less experienced, inferior than you. Imagine all of us here allowing ourselves to be led by a dog, a motorbike tout, somebody, a molester, somebody that beats people around. So what does that make of us? I think we need to think about all this. Anishere. I've referenced it. Okay. Adewale, insecurity and injustice. All we need to do is let us all come together. You see, there is something that always comes to my mind. You know, when people want to vie for a political office, I think people should do something like they do in America, or in the Western world, when you want to apply for credit. They'll say they want to go and check your credit record, your reference. You understand? Your credit history. You understand? And they will find out in your credit history, he's owing so person money. Oh, he has stolen this person money. And they will just tell you, he was convicted this. And they will just tell you, Uncle, please carry your wallet and go. I think that's what we should do. Let people that are vying for political office, let us x-ray them now and see what we will come up with. God will continue to help us. So I will have to stop at this point. I welcome our two new brother and sister from OGTEC. Thank you very much for coming.
And their powerful delegation.
Their delegation is very, very, very powerful. Thank you very much for coming. So we want to start the second segment.
Ìtẹ̀síwájú. Larrybash. tẹ̀síwájú.
I want to thank you once again. All your views will be properly aggregated in that document, and we hope that ADO-ODO Federal Constituency will be better off for it. Now, having said that, let's move to the opportunities. You know, unlocking the opportunities for having discussed the barriers. What are the opportunities for this same federal constituency? Once again, we invite Honorable Larrybash.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. And I think we're just going to try to run through this as quick as possible, not to bore us with a lot of... See, the opportunities that... These are not the only opportunities. These are just few that we want to talk about, so because of time. The first thing I want to talk about is our industrial cluster as an opportunity. You understand? If you look at ADO-ODO Federal Constituency, I don't think you can walk 100 or 50 meters without seeing one industry or the other. Are we benefiting from all those? Look at Ibesa Free Trade Zone. Look at Ota Industrial Estate. Look at Agbara Industrial Estate. Look at all those industrial estates. These are massive opportunity if well announced. You understand? We need to look into all this and see. I was discussing with my team one time. Do you believe that the Niger Delta Development Authority Commission, one way they encourage all the big industries over there, all these gas companies, these oil companies, to take 1, 2, 3 of the people of that community and send them to school outside that area. Because I witnessed it, I saw it. I saw them in best schools in Lagos, and all these things are being paid by companies. You understand? If we have a very good relationship with all these our companies, all these our industries, you understand? They can do that. Instead of somebody like me taking students and paying for their scholarship, we have students that we've started paying from JSS1 and now they are in SS3 or SS2 in private secondary school. You understand? Just from I've never been in politics, but I just feel that. So if we enhance this opportunity, I think it's a great opportunity for our federal constituency. Second thing I always talk about is our strategic location. You understand? See, if we don't have a comparative advantage in terms of our location, you will not see all these industries here. Yes. There is a thing they are benefiting. You understand? Apart from closeness to the airport, closeness to the seaport, and to the massive markets in Lagos, we have a very broad-based consumer advantage in ADO-ODO Federal Constituency. Majority of their produce or products are even being consumed here, even without taking it outside to any other market. So it is a very big advantage and opportunity for us if we take advantage of it or harness it properly. Then our advantage of our demography. Look at this all. Look at the youth. We have a very good youth population that can work, ready to learn, ready for skills, ready for training. And you know, we don't have aging population. We have a very good youth population, which is a very big advantage to us. And another opportunity that is my own, let me call it my sweetheart, is our agricultural opportunities. I was involved with Lagos State on their youth agricultural youth empowerment scheme. We call them laptop carrying farmers. You understand? Youth.
Agricultural what?
Agricultural youth empowerment scheme. We call it AYES, Agri-YES. Agricultural Youth Empowerment Scheme. We started with 100 students, and we brought international agro experts
to come and train them on modern agroeconomy. You understand? Proper agric business. And now, most of those students, they are employers of labor, doing all sorts of agric. Some of them have even gone far as going to Israel to learn about shrimp farming. You understand? We have all those that we can do. Now look at ADO-ODO farm settlement, which is lying fallow. All our forefathers that opened up all these settlements. Look, what Baba Awolowo did with farm settlements during his time was able to make Western region the envy of other regions. Without oil, you understand? If we can look and tap into all this, I'm not saying constituency 1 now, my brother, I'm talking about ADO-ODO. I've been there. I went to that farm settlement. I took Dele along with me, Dele and Moses. I know him. Oh, thank you very much. Look, in Lagos now, during the BRF regime, we built 400 units of bungalow at the Araga Agric Settlement area. Do you know what that did? We encourage young people like this. They have a 3-bedroom house and they give them 3 acres of land after their training. Some of them went into poultry, some of them went into vegetable. There is this girl that said, I'm not doing all this. I was asking, because you know, I was like one of the coordinators of that project. What will you do? She said she wanted to do lettuce. I said, lettuce. I said, you sure? I said, Mr. Bashoru, don't worry. Now, she exports lettuce all the way to Ghana, Republic to Benin. Lettuce. See, the day I saw this girl at Alausa, I was dazed because she just came out of a very flashy cape and just kneeled down. Wallahi, I could not recognize she was the person. I was like, who are you? She said, Mr. Bashoru, I'm not in here. She said, you're my coordinator. I was the lettuce girl. I said, lettuce. So you stop it. So what are you doing? I said, stop what? She's gone to Okeokun and acquire almost 20 acres of land and still doing lettuce. Look at how big that place is. Let's just do vegetables. Get people the required training. My brother, see, people that have passion for their people is not difficult to identify. See, one of the biggest area that Ashwaju is spending a lot of money is in agri-business and livestock business. Now, what stops us from exporting meat to Saudi Arabia? I have the second biggest abattoir in Lagos. It's my own. You understand? So I know about livestock. If you follow us, you'll see one of the first group of people that the Minister for Livestock met is me. You understand? So I know about all these things that we are talking about, and we are ready to tap into available resources from the federal government. That is what representation means. Not going here to just go and steal 2,500 bags of rice, go and sell it, and come here and start beating people up. How many opportunities have you bring back to your federal constituency? We have enough resources to tap from. Without being in government, I know how I can tap into all these resources. Now, imagine me having a political power. I promise you to the God that created me that ADO-ODO, the federal constituency, will never be the same. Never. We can read online and see what other House of Rep members are doing. Look at it. We can read. We are not blind. We mentioned about it. You understand? So we want to say, oh, maybe because some of them are first timers. We've seen a first timer that have done many things. And look at a constituency like this that is suffering, lacking big opportunities. And then we have nothing to show for it. People are laughing at us. People are laughing at us. We want to talk about somebody coming back to tell us I built 2 classrooms. I built. See, before you want to build classrooms, is there anything quality that you've injected into that school? Have you even see that 2 classrooms is enough or is sufficient? You know, what assessment did you do? Rather than you just want to show how well to build 2 classrooms. When people are building schools, you understand? Employing people, empowering people, making people self-sufficient. You understand? Empowering people to start employing people. And we are talking about, I think the time has gone for all this kind of things in this. We are fired up in this because we are lagging far behind. We are suffering. The governor is doing their own. It's left for our rep to represent us well and influence positive things into this federal constituency. People talk about Honorable Remi Babawale. He started the rural electrification all the way from Onibuku, Kidikon, all the way to Ere. My brother, let them come out and tell us what they've been able to do. Look at what distinguished Senator Yayi is doing. You understand? People talked about Senator Dusi. He has been the senator since when? How many years ago? People are still talking about him till date. You understand? Why are we going to start, you know, we need to look beyond all this kind of mediocrity. Anyway, I will want to stop at this point and then let people talk.
Ìtẹ̀síwájú. Ìtẹ̀síwájú.
That clap is for you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Because of time, we are going to really be regimented in the way we go about this. He is very strict. In fact, what he has said is clear. It doesn't need plenty explanation. I don't even need to dwell on it much because it's clear to everyone here. We don't need any interpretation. What he has said is what should be done. And you can see the passion with which he has said it. You know, somebody who's not in government, who has, you know, like laid down his life, let me use that expression, for the benefit of others, with his resources, with his sweat, not gained from looting treasury, the public treasury, but from passion, you know, and empathy. You just want to impact the life of people. And people like that, they are rare. And these are born leaders. And he wants to be allowed to use what he has gained, you know, to impact people. And that is why he is seeking, and you know, that public office, not for himself, but for others. So quickly, anyone who has anything to say to this, in addition.
The slogan of this movement is ADO-ODO, Ìtẹ̀síwájú ADO-ODO. And I believe that there is a lot that is built into that slogan, especially the issue of fairness and justice. If we understand it very well, we know that the meaning of ADO-ODO means that it's all encompassing. Nobody will be left behind. So I believe that this slogan should educate us and tell us a lot more about the movement. So I want to talk about, to add to what the Honorable have said, I want to talk about tapping into the potential that we have in this local government. We have like 6 universities in this local government. And if we have 6 universities and we have industrial clusters, I believe we should build a relationship between the institutions and the industries, so that in 2 ways we can determine the type of skills that are needed
I remember he talked about getting the right focused education. Focused education, getting the right skills for what is needed in your immediate environment, so that we can build startups, we can build innovation centers that will solve our immediate problems.
So, yes, I just want to add to what Chief Seriki has said, because now, even what led to his decision to go for this post was because of certain issues, was because of certain problems that have been recurrent in our society. And these issues, these problems have been in existence for decades. And we've had series of representatives, but they seem to have done their bit, and what they have been doing over time has been virtually the same. They have not really done. They will come here to tell us, okay, we want to do this, we want to do that, but then even when they tell you, okay, they want to do empowerment, they want to do this, they want to do that, these are the environment they do are not even addressing the rudiments of the problems we have in this local government. You say you want to do empowerment, what in fact, the people want, when the moment they hear about empowerment, what they want to know is, okay, on fait pin machine, on fait pin errata, on fait pin kinikon. But then, you are only solving the immediate needs of those people, not their long-term needs. People who you give kinikon, but then you do not even teach them things that can last them for long, that are addressing the issues. For instance, we say that okay, one of the things that he mentioned that he wants to look into is education. And there not been representatives doing things like, they will tell you, okay, they are building classrooms, they are building classrooms for schools that do not have the qualified teachers. Are you addressing issues? When they do not have qualified teachers, they are building more classrooms for them to begin to do the usuals. So now, if we have leaders that can tackle issues from, okay, what is, let's look at, okay, what is the issue? What actually brought us to where we are today? Let's tackle those issues from the foundation. That is the kind of person you have in IG Larrybash. Because me, I have known him for a long time. So all those things he saying or he said the other time, they are not new to someone like me. But for people who do not know him, would have reason to say that, okay, this, that. He is 100% a youth, he is someone who is there for the youth. 100%. So for people like us and several other youths and different segments of youth in this local government that can say a lot of positive things about him, he's someone who knows how to bring people together regardless of whatever differences that we have. So I want to say that in Larrybash come 2027, inshallah, we would not have reasons to sing the usual songs you have been singing if we should give Larrybash the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Just an addendum quickly. So my own is just to say that we are looking at, he spoke about opportunity. But the opportunity is not just a one-way thing. The opportunity is also for us to recognize that we have the opportunity in 2027 to make a difference. Alright? So it is an opportunity that we must explore, and then we must take advantage of it. Because it is a golden opportunity, in fact, as far as I'm concerned, that we all must recognize and we must accept, and we must take a decision, indeed, to explore it and ensure that that opportunity this time around will not pass us by. So we should not just look at opportunity in physical sense of it. We should see this avenue as a golden opportunity that we must explore and ensure that things change positively. Thank you.
Sir, one thing I would just add to it is this. The evangelism of these movements should go wider than the way it is now. And I would like to suggest you do it in a Lagos way. And what I mean by Lagos way is that in Lagos State, before you occupy a public office, people have seen your doings. That alone will imbibe in them something that, oh, this person has something to do. So if you can adopt this method, I believe it's going to help the evangelism. And I really appreciate my leader here and my father here from my thank you very much. I'm sorry, please forgive me. And by the time this evangelism starts, sir, my president from Otaye, know me very well. I represent ADO-ODO in any way, and I always agitate for the inclusive of ADO-ODO in everything in any way. So please, there's a lot. As it's going on, we should really not have any woman bó ṣe ń délé lẹ́tà torí pé màmá sílé ní Yorùbá mo ti báyìí bá tiẹ̀ tí ìrírí tí mi jẹ̀ bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́yìn ní àwọn ọmọ kan àwọn ìjà gbádùn tí wọ́n ti ṣe kí ni láti olóńgbò yẹn tí wọ́n sì ń jẹ́ ká pọ̀ṣẹ́ lè bí bẹ́ẹ̀ ń ṣe. So for this reason, let the evangelists expand beyond consensus one.
I don't know our honorable for all this lofty and the new points. In order to get them home, you need to solve some social-cultural, social-political, social-cultural progress. That is, I know that you are capable. I won't try to advise it. And then, the issue of tapping into the resources, that is, opportunities. I'm happy you are into agriculture. Is the cheapest and the most lucrative business. Thank God, in our area here, we have the good opportunities. Cropping, fisheries, snaring, all sorts. And one thing that amazes me and get my heart most is the water transportation is there if it can be really tapped. My president here, Moses, will be a blueprint to GNI then. Among our transportation is our water wings opportunity. So all these are good opportunities for us to build the community. And we make a difference in health technology. I mean, sorry this. You say from the best to better. So I mean, what is best? Their own, their ignorance and democracy. You take it to better. And God bless you.
Enough of classrooms. What we need now, if God, by God, yes, enough of classrooms. We have enough classrooms in ADO-ODO. What we need is sports center and then vocational team.
Just protest towards this little about the youth engagement. We have been seeing many entrepreneurship training and empowerment going. But then, my question is that this empowerment that you have been doing, you have some people giving them machine, giving them generators, machine and all that. My question is, do they really know what the youth want? Like now, there was an entrepreneur empowerment that goes on, I don't know to mention him. But then, me as a person, my field is computer technique. Going there, they gave me sewing machine. So what did I want to use it for? The question is that you don't really know what you want. Getting to the roots, to know what your people need is the best thing in everything.
Ìtẹ̀síwájú. Larrybash. Ìtẹ̀síwájú.
Before we close this session, I've just been told that we should allow the man that brought us all here to do a closing remark. I let him talk to us and tell us the direction we should go.
Thank you very much. Firstly, let me thank everybody for coming. In conclusion to this, what I really see is we need to talk more about leadership, and we need to be very, very intentional about what we mean by leadership. When we're talking about leadership, we need to look some qualities in our leaders. What are the things that we need to do? We need to look for somebody that got the local knowledge. You understand? Somebody that got the local knowledge of that community. Secondly, somebody that is very credible. Somebody with good credibility. Somebody that's got the will. You understand? The interest. And somebody that's got the experience and acceptability. If we are able to get that in a leader, I think the sky will be our limit. I need to talk a little bit, just quickly to mention the reforms that our president is, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You can tell that there is passion, he has been tested, he's got the will. You understand? Look, when he was doing all the reforms that he did, everybody was crying. But he knows that he's got the will, the interest, and is well accepted. You know, he knows what he's doing. Look, today, look at local government autonomy. Look at the tax reform. Look at the fund, the NEL fund, the fund for all the students. You understand? Look at the infrastructural development. Look, if you go to Lagos now, you see that road from Lagos to Calabar is highly going on. You understand? And security. These are people that have the will, the local knowledge, the intention, and they are very strong about it. So today, look, the inflation is down to 20.12% from 40-something%. The GDP has grown by 4.23%. Debt service has gone down because all the money we're making before we're using it to service our debt. Now it has gone back from 97% to 50%. Now this is people that are intentional about what they're doing. They have the will. They love their community. They are very credible. Those are the kind of leaders that we need to look for. I want to thank everybody again for coming, and in our going on, I want you to think about, let us find credible people with local knowledge, people with will, people with the interest of the people at hand. And I want to tell you, in me, you have all what you need.
Ìtẹ̀síwájú. Larrybash. Ìtẹ̀síwájú.